Guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the YouTube account. Now we know as 2023 is slowly coming to a close that we are going to have some changes that are coming in the pipeline. Now, if you guys remember from the designer notes or the dev notes a little bit ago, there were going to be some changes which we're going to be covering today. They set and released an updated dev notes. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. All right, guys, so here is the breakdown, the Designer Face-to-Face Volume 18. I want to break this down, give you my opinion on it. Let me know in the comments your thoughts about it with what we have coming pretty soon. Starting with our latest focuses, guys. Now, we know that the Noctis Anoramum is going to be the festival for the commencement, the new awakened hero, Chimera. Now, Chimera, of course, is the one that we've been waiting for more than anything. Considering the faction Greyborn and her own design fit within the concept, which is, of course, the Halloween, they've combined it in the design of the event to provide you more immersive and festive experience, which is going to be amazing to see. And in celebration of the festival, you are getting a free copy of Chimera, which is going to be awesome to help you build the new awakened hero. So ultimately, guys, if you think about that, that's 50 to 70 Stargazer scrolls, time emblems that they're giving us right off of the bat with that free copy. You don't even have to go in there, use the cards they give you for the release, or even use your discounted summons, because they're going to start you off with one copy right off the bat, which is absolutely amazing. Now, looking at the new training system, this is going to be very interesting. New training system, which many of you have been anxious about. Again, they said it would be late 2023, so it would be Q4, which is what we're in right now. It is underway. What we can reveal, it is not bound to a single hero, which is awesome. So that means that signature item, engraving, furniture, it is not bound to a single item. It is derived from the current artifacts function. So it might be a way to improve Dura's artifacts, essentially the older artifacts that we have, or it could be entirely new artifacts, but I'm hoping that they use some of the artifacts that we currently have, adding more functionality to them. That means you can deploy heroes more randomly and strategically with better combinations that amplify their strengths. So again, it doesn't seem like this is not going to be bound to a single hero, but you may have multiple heroes that are going to wear this new training system or this new artifact training system or way to level it up. So how do you get it? New training system will have a fun feature where you can choose a different item to build each time you experience it, which would be pretty cool, getting used to the item. As you become more familiar with the gameplay, you can create items that work better for you. That again would be pretty unique to see, that everyone is not going to have the exact same items, or if there's going to be a point where you can just build them all. But will the new training system be random? During the feature, you will encounter various random events and choices which enable you to build different new items. At the end of each play, you can customize your activated items and tailor it to one that is most useful. Again, this is going to be really cool to see. Now, you remember the letter from Don in 2022. Again, he kind of alluded to what they had scheduled or roadmap for 2023. There'd be a brand new social gameplay in the second half of 23. Internally, they have several discussions about the feature, few adjustments. It is a cross-server militia combat feature, fairly relaxed, not grinding. Combat unit in the militia with 4 militias fighting to occupy mines on a map. Every player can contribute to their militia in their own way. We will launch the beta version first and optimize it based on your feedback. So pretty interesting, guys. Now, if it's going to do, and it says 4 militias, I don't know how many players. Is that going to mean 4 players, or is that going to mean 4 sets of, 20 players, 50 players, 70 players, whatever it may be, guys? Or is it going to be, guild versus guild? Could you have multiple guilds to hit 70 players? We're going to have to see exactly what this looks like in the battle, feature, the beta version, and see exactly how it looks and what it exactly is going to entail. Now, looking up here at the brand new map, the Floating Isles, the Abyssal Expedition. Now, guys, take it with a grain of salt. This is a beta version. This is the reason why we run the beta version. You have to keep in mind, that's exactly why. We know there were a lot of bugs, a lot of players having issues with the floating rocks, a lot of players with the rocks not showing up at all. They're going to optimize it in the future. They're going to have to, especially before it goes into the ranked. So if this goes into a ranked and people can't move, or people just kind of screw their own militia, it's not going to be good. It is not going to be good at all. We will take measures to prevent this behavior, such as limiting the number of floating rocks to each militia that can attack, and allow the leaders to use the members' floating rocks. This was a couple, again, feedback that I got from a lot of the players, was players were getting the floating rocks, not knowing exactly where they were or what they were used for or where to use them. So they were literally just sitting in the bag and nobody actually used them, or they were placed in wrong places and people couldn't actually pick them up. So there were a few that were actually stuck because they weren't able to essentially do this. Now, the battle campaign challenges come with combat restrictions. We know the combat restrictions have been in there. Guys, this is an old result of the Thorin cheese. If you remember the old Thorin cheese, guys, whereas the enemy gets stronger, you can actually cheese Thorin with his retaliation ability. People would farm hundreds of levels at the same time, literally running things on macros to get Thorin to cheese and essentially get it to work. That is the reason why I believe originally about 3 years ago, maybe even more, that the combat rating system was put in there. So they have adjusted some of the combat rating restrictions again. Feel free to let them know, guys. Keep giving them the feedback. Can the HP adjustment function be added to boss trial features? Receive the feedback. It is going to be changed, guys. So probably on the next version of the Abyssal Expedition, the trials are going to change. And then, of course, we already know Rem and Amelia are coming in the next patch, guys. So they will actually be here. So if you did miss them in the previous events, they are going to be available for you. Now, looking at our final column here, Treasure Vanguard. Again, I got a lot of questions about the Treasure Vanguard. Are there going to be an automatic dispatch like the Treasure Scramble where the preloaded heroes that you already have will already be in the Vanguard? It is not a permanent event. We will re-release it once and after a few different versions. So again, I think they're kind of fine-tuning this. As we know, it was the beta version. We don't have any plans to include an automatic hero dispatch. So that means that players still have to come in here and still have to play the game mode, which I think is good. It still gets players to go in here. We hope everyone can exchange faction strategies, make adjustments based on the recommendations. A lot of feedback after the first beta version, which is awesome. So they're going through and they're optimizing it. And a few of the updates include the communication. Again, really syncing up to see what heroes are building. It was very hard. You could see the percentages, but if you're looking, or I seen even a lot of players that were building out things within the Treasure Vanguard that were already maxed out, but they were still literally just AFK or auto raid in there, that it just kind of built by itself. So there's going to be some communication, going to be some faction changes in there. Improve the commander research mechanic. Again, this is going to be very, very important. After completing the quest issued by the treasure commander, treasure finders will get additional resources to help their faction win. Very cool to make it a little bit more competitive. And then, of course, optimize the gameplay. Some of it was kind of clunky. Some of it didn't work. And like I said, you could farm a bunch of resources even though you are already completely maxed out. So it's kind of silly in that mechanism part to go ahead and build that. Designers, guys, the game is changing. We are coming up on 5 years. That is right, guys. It is 5 years of AFK Arena. So it is kind of crazy to see where this game has come from the original. I believe it was, 12 heroes up to the almost 150 heroes that we have right now. So again, we're going to continue to say this, guys. I absolutely love AFK Arena. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.